And I want those girls to know the truth about this organization, about the people who have created this system, and I want them to understand what they're signing up for. To find herself in the same position that I've been in, because these have been the worst few months of my life. It's just been going downhill. It's been getting worse and worse, and I've spent the last few months just completely depressed and alone, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Absolutely no idea that countries were paying for votes, okay? And then the Miss Grand International organization happily accepts them in the form of votes or in the form of, donations. I requested them multiple times that, there's no pots and pans in the house. I can't cook. Like, I could maybe go and grocery shop and then cook for myself, but there were no pots and pans. There was nothing. There are so many girls all over the world who have the same dream that I did when I entered this competition, and I wanted to win the first crown for India, and I did win the first crown for India. And I want those girls to know the truth about this organization, about the people who have created this system, and I want them to understand what they're signing up for. Because when I started and when I joined and when I won, nobody told me, nobody warned me, and I had to figure it out on my own. And I don't want any other girl to find herself in the same position that I've been in, because these have been the worst few months of my life. I have been at rock bottom. The last time I was truly happy was the night I won. And since then, it's just been going downhill. It's been getting worse and worse. And I've spent the last few months just completely depressed and alone, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So I want you to know the truth, and it's taking a lot of courage to, first of all, give up the crown that I worked so hard for, and then also to talk about it so openly. But I don't want anyone else to be in the same position as me. So that's why I'm doing this. You all know how much effort I put into this dream of winning, how hard I worked from the beginning. And that's true for so many girls who join. And all I've gotten in return is just constant harassment, mental torture, mistreatment, and it's on a systemic level. Like, I don't think they can ever change this. So I want you to know what I've gone through, and I want you to know how much I've been silently struggling behind my smile. And I know it's seemed like everything is okay, but like, you have to make it look that way when the whole world is watching you and there's always just cameras on you. It's like, you have to seem like everything is okay, but I want you to know the truth now. And I'm gonna tell you everything in this video. First of all, when I joined the competition, I had absolutely no idea that countries were paying for votes, okay? And then the Miss Grand International organization happily accepts them in the form of votes or in the form of, donations. And you guys don't know that. And of course, like, when I found out, like, we couldn't afford to pay for the votes. We didn't have that knowledge, and that's why it was so difficult to compete in terms of votes. You guys know, when I was in the personal interview, Nawat asked me, why do you not have votes? And it's because I wasn't paying to buy votes like every other person was. And honestly, like, it's not even their fault. Like, of course, if they have the option, why wouldn't they do it? Like, everybody wants to win. And the countries who've paid huge amounts of money for votes or for donations, like, of course, if their girl doesn't win, they would be upset because they've basically paid for it and they expect something in return. Nothing is promised, but they expect that, yeah, we've paid, we'll get some return on it. And I don't blame the countries at all. Like, everybody's doing what they can to win, but it is the organization's fault for accepting this and for setting this standard. Because what about the girls who can't afford it? What about the countries who can't afford it, or the national directors who don't know about it, or who don't have access to those kinds of funds, like me? Truly, the only reason I won, despite all of this voting and all of this that was happening, the only reason I won is because of the amount of public support I had. I mean, I think about it now and it still gives me goosebumps, the way people cheered for India, and the way, like, if you asked anybody, they would say they were rooting for India. And on social media and in Thailand in real life, there was just so much support for me, and I'm so grateful for that, because that is truly the only reason that I won. Honestly, I want you to think about all the franchises and the national directors who lost their licenses this year, or who gave it up or whatever. Like, it's actually insane, the number of directors who've been in the business for years and they chose to give up their license. Why do you think that is? Who do you think the problem here is, the common problem? I mean, truly, it is impossible to work with the Miss Grand International organization. The way they are, the way they treat people, they only care about money. Like, that is their only thing. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit more, but it made so much sense to me later on when I saw that so many people were dropping their licenses, because nobody wants, even after winning, nobody wants their girls to be in this kind of position, you know? And I had no one to tell me, you know, but I need to be the person who speaks up for what the truth is, and who puts honesty and integrity above my own image. And that's what I'm trying to do today. I've been in Thailand for many months. As you know, I won in October, and then I stayed the whole month of November and 2 weeks of December. And then I was also there for more than a month, all throughout March. So I've spent my fair share of time over there. And during that time, I mean, it's unbelievable how they treated me. They couldn't even provide me basic amenities. You know, you think after winning that, oh my God, like, it's a dream come true. The organization is going to take care of everything for me. But that's not true. Immediately after winning, they moved me into a cramped hotel room, a small little hotel room where even all my suitcases, they couldn't open properly. Like, there wasn't enough space for that. And I lived in that hotel room for more than a month. More than 1 month. And from there, they shifted me to a dilapidated house, okay, which was way on the outside of the city, like an hour or an hour and a half away from the city center, from MGI Hall, the office, everything. And over there in the house, I had no car. They didn't give me any way of getting around, so I was basically stuck in the house until they decided that they need me for something, even in the month of March. I had no car. They did not give me access to, like, a Thai phone number or anything, so I had to buy a phone over there. I had to buy a Thai phone number so that I could stay in touch with my friends and family, because I was staying there for so much time, you know. They did not provide me any food at all. You know, I requested them multiple times that, you know, like, there's no pots and pans in the house. I can't cook. Like, I could maybe go and grocery shop and then cook for myself, but there were no pots and pans, there was nothing. So I said that, could we at least please, like I'm vegetarian, so it's very simple, like we could just make sure that the fridge is stocked with, fruits, and just fruits, so I can like cut it and eat it, And my mom messaged them also that, she's all alone, and can we just make sure there's some fruit in the fridge for her? They couldn't even do that.